Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 show, and today started a new segment with this show, and it's going to be called Football Talk. I'll be doing this mostly on Mondays, but I'm doing it today because Monday I had the Comic-Con reaction video, and if you want to check out that video, go check it out. It was a pretty good video. Showed off a lot of good stuff, but today I am here with my 87 Reggie Wayne jersey, and I'm going to talk about football, and I'm going to start with Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love. Both these guys just got contract extensions this past weekend. This past weekend. I'm going to start with Jordan Love first because I feel like the better out of these two is the guy I'm going to talk about last. So, with Jordan Love, last year he had a decent year. He was not looking like Aaron Rodgers. He was not looking like Brett Favre. He was not looking like a really good NFL quarterback. So, why the Green Bay Packers felt they needed to pay him as much as they did, I have no clue. He shouldn't have got paid that much because, honestly, I think Jordan Love, had a good year. Now, if he looks good next year, I'll eat crow and I'll talk about, if he looks good this year, I'll eat crow and I'll frickin' sit there and I'll eat crow and I'll praise Jordan Love. Now, I know my cousin's girlfriend's not gonna like the fact I'm bashing Jordan Love, even if she watches this video. So he got like over $1 million something. Like I think it was like 22 million and 13 guaranteed or something like that. I can't remember all the numbers, but he got a lot of money that he didn't even earn yet. So I don't know why Green Bay felt they had to pay him the way they paid him, because that was just awful. Now, like I said, if Jordan Love has a good year this year, I will eat crow and I will sit there and I will sing the praises of Jordan Love, and I will freaking just say, alright, he's better than what I thought. Tua Tagovailoa. Now look, I think Tua is a lot better than Jordan Love, but not by much. And that's saying a lot. My brother-in-law Billy, he's a freaking Dolphins fan, and he cannot stand. Well, he says he thinks that freaking Tua is overrated, and I agree with him. Tua is overrated. He's only had one good year, and that was last year. And the only reason he had that good year was because they got Tyreek Hill, so that's why he looked good last year. But honestly, he's a bit overrated, but he is a little bit better than Jordan Love. He made the playoffs. The Dolphins were like second place in the division last year, so not surprising. They were only behind Gene's Buffalo Bills. But we'll see how things change this year. Everybody's picking the Dolphins to go and win the division this year. I don't think so. I still think the Bills have something to say, and I still think the Bills own that division. As you see, my beautiful wife should come in. Yeah, well, coming in here. In their division, I still think Buffalo's got it. I know Gene ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to sweat it. You just got to sweat it when freaking Josh Allen takes the Bills to the playoffs and chokes again. But that's besides the point. Overall, both these guys, I don't know how much Tua got. I seen how much Jordan Love got, but I did not see how much Tua got. But honestly, if Jordan Love plays good, I'll freaking, like I said, I'll eat crow and I'll keep my mouth shut about Jordan Love. But right now, he does not look like he deserved that money he got. Now Tua, he deserves money, but he's overrated too. And like I said, my brother-in-law loves the Dolphins, but he's not a fan of Tua Tagovailoa. So, he's not a fan of Tua Tagovailoa. So, that says a lot. Alright, let's talk about something that's been bothering me a lot, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I'm also going to talk about the Cowboys getting all this freaking hype when they don't even deserve the hype, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to talk about something that's really been irritating me, because Colts Nation, to me, sounds very ungrateful for this guy. And I'm talking about everybody in Colts Nation. I don't think it's everybody, but people like Bring the Juice and all that are bashing Kwity Paye. Now look, Kwity Paye, yeah, I was kind of doubting him his first year. He was injured. He didn't stay on the field. He only got 4.5 sacks his first year, and he was a number 1 pick. Then we had the year after that, he got 6 sacks, which that's a lot better than 4.5. It's only a half more than what he got, almost 2.5 more than what he got the year prior. Then last year, this guy gets 8.5 sacks. 8.5 sacks. And people are talking about how, you know, they need to get rid of, and, you know, because we went and we drafted Latu in the draft, 15th overall. I was excited about that. And, you know, and I said in the Facebook video after the draft, earlier in this year, I said, look, we're going to see Latu on the right, because I don't think they totally trust Samson Ebukam. And then we're going to see Kwity Paye starting on the left. And they're going to be in then spots on pass rush, which you have Tyquan Lewis and Dio Digbo next to them. Inside, you will also occasionally have DeForest Buckner next to you inside. So I think that will do great for Kwity Paye with frickin' Latu. Now, him and frickin' Samson had a good year together last year. But the thing is, they're talking about, well, he got 8.5 sacks. He was the second sack leader, but he wasn't getting many pressures. So what's more important to you? Getting the sacks, which put these players in third and long situations, or getting the pressure. Now, I know both of them are important, and I think Kwity Paye will work and will be better at getting pressure, getting a better pressure rate than he did last year. But here's the thing. He's got to get the same sack total or even more that he got last year for me to continue being on this Kwity Paye bandwagon. And I even said in my video when I predicted, I said, look, Kwity Paye's going to have a breakout year in 2023. He did. He got 8.5 sacks. That's more I think he's gotten in his whole entire career. From college to when he moved here to the NFL and has been a Colt. Now, if he can do that and get more, and even if he just gets 8.5 again, and then Latu gets like 10 or 11 or whatever, and then you have DeForest getting like a bunch and all that, then, you know, what's the problem? We took his 5th-year option for a reason. Now, that could be for a prove-it deal, but we have this guy until at least early 2026. So we signed the option for a reason. This guy got 8.5, and everybody keeps saying, well, he's a good run. Yeah, he is a really good run stuffer. But you cannot discount, and I just, you know, and yeah, I know pressure rate's important and all that stuff. You got to get pressure to make the quarterbacks nervous. But if you're hitting these guys too, and they're losing yardage, that's making their job even harder as well. And if you have all these other guys getting pressure, why does this guy need to be the one to get pressure? If all the other guys are getting this pressure, that'll make them nervous enough to make mistakes and get turnovers. So, yeah, I think, you know, and Kwity Paye, he said in his media scrums and all that stuff, he's talked about how he's changed his diet, he's lost a little bit of weight, he's trying to become a better overall pressure. And people are still, even one of the coaches for the Colts said Kwity Paye probably had the best offseason that he's seen in a while from any Colts player. And people are still discounting and ignoring Kwity Paye and saying, oh, they brought in Latu to replace Kwity Paye. If anything, and I'll talk about this when I get to the Samson Ebukam injury. If anything, they brought Latu in because they wasn't totally for sure that, you know, Samson Ebukam was going to be able to get 9.5 sacks like he did last year. Because honestly, all the time he's been in the league, the highest sack total that Samson Ebukam has gotten is 5.5. He might have better pressure rate. He might have all that stuff. But Kwity Paye, every year he's been in the league, he's been ascending. He went from 4.5 sacks to 6 sacks to 8.5 last year, which is a career best for Kwity Paye in his entire career. So why are we giving this guy so much disrespect? I think people are unfairly criticizing him, and I think Kwity Paye deserves more respect from Colts Nation, and he deserves more respect from people like Bring the Juice Today. And look, I like Cody Felger. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He requested me. I didn't request him, and I've told people that time and time again. Even on my Facebook fan pages, I've told them that. If you're ascending and getting more sacks than you got the year prior, that's doing something for a guy that I'm pretty sure people didn't expect a lot out of. 8.5 sacks. If he can give us 8.5 sacks every year, and then Latu could give us the double-digit sacks, what's the problem? It's not like Mathis always had double-digit sacks every year. He was alongside Dwight Freeney. So I don't get it. This guy dropped down, I believe, from like 265 to 262. He was playing at 270. Dropped from 265 to 262. 6'3". Can play the run pretty well. And had 8.5 sacks last year. So why are we giving this guy such grief, and why are we disrespecting this guy so much? He deserves better than getting treated the way he's getting treated by Colts Nation. And look, I like Tyquan Lewis, but Tyquan Lewis ain't gotten half the sacks that freaking Kwity Paye's gotten. Tyquan Lewis, I think, one year got 6 sacks the day he got injured. Tyquan Lewis is going to have to step up. You know, Tyquan Lewis he can get good pressures, yeah, that's good, but he's mainly a middle guy. He's a guy you put in the middle alongside Dio Adingbo, and maybe sometimes put alongside DeForest Buckner with him. So, I don't know. But Kwity Paye, let's say he gets a bunch of sacks this year, and his pressure rate's still the same. Let's say he gets double-digit sacks. Are people still going to complain? I bet they are. People are even saying, well, Dio Adingbo's going to... No, Dio Adingbo's better to be inside with Tyquan Lewis or frickin' DeForest Buckner. So, you know, I don't get it. I like Dio as well. I think Dio's a pretty good DN. Every time when I get to that next year on the Madden game, I always make sure I re-sign Dio. But, yeah, I mean, come on now. Give this guy a break. Quit giving him flack. I'm sure his pressure rate will be better, and I'm pretty sure he'll get more sacks. He might get 9 sacks. He might get 10 sacks. Who knows? We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for. In fact, I'm going to predict that I think Kwity Paye will do it this year. He'll have a better pressure rate so people will stop bitching and whining about it. And then he will get a better sack total than he got last year. Even if it's a half more. If he gets like 9, or if he gets like 10, then that's better than freaking nothing. You got Latu. You got all these other guys. Why are we bitching about Kwity Paye's pressure rate? When a guy can get 8.5 sacks, that's a loss of down for the people, and it's giving people, making the quarterback job harder than it is. So, I don't know. Colts Nation is really annoying me with the flack they're giving Kwity Paye. Alright, now let's talk about Samson Ebukam. So, I believe it was Sunday in practice. It might have been yesterday. No, it was Sunday. Sunday in practice without pads, Samson Ebukam gets injured. Now, they put Tyquan Lewis in to step up. Or they put Tyquan Lewis in to take Samson's place. So, one thing's for sure, whether people like it or not, Kwity Paye is going to be starting in passing situations and running situations this year because Samson's out for the year. But anyway, Taekwon Lewis is going to be the starter, which pretty much, you know, Sampson's going to get that job. Sampson's going to take that starting job on the right side, not the left side. On the right side, Sampson is going to, or freaking Laiatu Latu's taking that starting position. Taekwon might start the first couple games, but I guarantee you by game 3, maybe even by game 3 of preseason, we're going to see Laiatu Latu starting. So it's going to be Kwity Paye and Laiatu Latu starting at the right defensive end, which they call Leo, and at the left defensive end, which they call the strong side. That's how it's going to be. There ain't going to be no Dayo Digbo starting. Dayo's a good rotational piece. Like I said, he plays pretty well in the middle. He can get pressure too. Him and Taekwon can be the middle guys. Laiatu and frickin' Kwity are the other guys. So now it sucks because, yeah, Sampson did have a good year last year, but I really didn't have faith that Sampson was going to do what he did last year. I mean, I honestly didn't. I think last year, because of the fact that we have DeForest Buckner, Kwity Paye, Dayo Digbo, Taekwon Lewis as our defensive ends, and all these people got to worry about, you know, double teaming those guys and keeping those guys from getting to the quarterback. I think that's why Sampson had a good year. But I'll be quite honest with you. I had even before Sampson got injured, I'm like, Laiatu's taking that starting job, and he's not taking it from Kwity Paye. I'm a fan of Kwity Paye. I like Kwity Paye. He's not taking it from Kwity Paye. He's taking it from Samson Ebukam. Because Samson Ebukam has been in the league for about 7 years or so, and this guy has been not very good at getting sacks. So last year might have been an anomaly, might have been a fluke year, you never know. But I like the fact that people saying that about Kwity Paye. But Kwity Paye's been in the league 4 years, and each year he's ascended. He went from 4.5 to 6 to 8.5. And who knows what he'll do this year? He might do 10. He might do 11. Who knows? But I do agree he does have to get better pressure to scare the quarterback as well. But my problem is, you know, the sack, if he don't get more pressure and he gets more sacks, I'm happy with that. Because that's taking away a down for them. That's making the quarterback's job harder. I mean, let's be honest. During the heyday of DeFreni and Mathis, they didn't always get pressure all the frickin' time. They got a lot of sacks on people, but they didn't always get pressure. So I don't know why people are complaining about Kwity Paye. But Sampson, I had a feeling Latu was going to take Sampson's job anyway. If he wouldn't have took it this year, he was definitely taking it next year, because we were going to cut Sampson, and that was going to be final. Now, with this injury, I don't know what they're going to do. They might still cut him, especially if Laiatu. And the way they're talking about Laiatu in training camp, he looks really good. So I think Laiatu has secured that job. Even if Sampson comes back next year, maybe they could use him as a rotational piece behind Sampson. Maybe they could have him come in on running downs, and then Sampson could frickin', you know, and Laiatu could come in on passing downs, whatever it is. But honestly, whatever the case, Laiatu's taking that. Or he just backs up Laiatu. We'll see. But that's my thoughts. Why people are hating so much on Kwity Paye is beyond me. This guy has ascended every year he's been in the league. And he got a career high last year in sacks. This is his 4th year. He's going into his 4th year. Whereas Samson Ebukam has been a, what do they call that? Them people that freaking, he's been a nomad, traveling from team to team, and the highest sack total he got outside of last year was 5.5. Now look, if Kwity Paye went and got 4 sacks the first year, and then got like, you know, 2 or 3 the year after, and then only got like 4 or 5 this year, then I'd be having a different tone about Kwity Paye. But when you're getting sacks, that's important too. Yeah, the pressure rate should go up. Yeah, the pressure rate could go up, but I'm happy with getting the sacks. I don't know what you people, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this whole sacks versus pressure rate situation. And you never know. Kwity Paye could freaking get a sack, force a fumble, and then boom, a turnover happens. But yeah, Samson Ebukam, sucks that he got injured, but I think in the long run, anyway it went, Samson would have been starting on the right side, and then by the end of the year, it would have been Laiatu Latu. Because you didn't take Laiatu Latu 15th overall because you were so insecure about the left side. Because left side's good. You got Dio, you got Kwity, those are both good players. You got on the right side, what do you got? You got freaking shoot. You got Samson, Ebukam, you got freaking what's his freaking name? Guy from the Eagles. I can't think of his name right now. And then you got, I guess you could say Tyquan Lewis would have been behind or something like that. One thing I do say, the Samson Ebukam injury might give Titus Leo a chance to show up and be that backup. To be a reliable backup. Now look, Titus Leo, when I was watching him in preseason, I was like, ooh, this guy looks pretty good. He should definitely make the roster and be a backup. I think he's got a good chance, especially if he's taking on the Eagles guy. That guy's been around the league for a while too, and I think, you know, Titus Leo could be a good reliable backup behind Laiatu and Tyquan. So with Samson out, that gives someone like Titus Leo a chance to shine and be a backup for the frickin' Colts, and I think he'll do pretty well. I mean, he's the same size as frickin' Samson Ebukam, so yeah, I think Tyquan. Hey, we're gonna see Titus Leo, Laiatu Latu, and Tyquan on the right side. On the left side, I think we just need Dio and frickin' Kwity. We don't need a third guy on the left side. I don't know why Chris Ballard has 6 defensive ends every year for this team. It just, unless they're just worried about injuries. But yeah, I can see Titus Leo really stepping up and taking that backup role and having that one guy cut. That guy for Philadelphia, he could be cut because I think Titus Leo will take that third spot on the right side. Alright, I'm going to talk about a couple more things and I'm in the video. Let's talk about the Cowboys. I am getting so sick and tired of watching Inside Training Camp, watching NFL First Take, or ESPN First Take, watching the insiders on NFL, and everybody's talking about the Cowboys already. Could this be the year? Will they do something? One thing I have been interested in is who is the Cowboys going to re-sign? Quite frankly, I think the most important, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Dak Prescott, and you got frickin' Micah Parsons. Personally, the most important person you should re-sign should be Micah Parsons. He makes a difference on your defense. He's the guy that I would make priority to sign first. Then CeeDee Lamb, and then, you know, Dak, unless he shows up and gets the Cowboys to the Super Bowl this year or something, I don't think Dak should get paid until he actually gets the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. Even if they make it and they lose. Unless, and Dak's got to show he ain't going to choke in the playoffs. That's something Josh Allen has to do as well, which I'll talk about that too. Oh yeah, I also got to talk about the Roger Goodell thing, which that's what I was going to start with, but I got into all the other stuff. But, well, I can talk about the Roger Goodell stuff probably the next football talk. But this video is already like 24 minutes. But yeah, I mean, come on now. Micah Parsons is the guy you gotta re-sign for Dallas. Dallas, if you don't re-sign Micah Parsons first, you're stupid. Then CeeDee Lamb would be the next guy I'd focus on. Dak, he has to earn his contract. CeeDee and frickin' Micah have earned a new contract. And you know what? I hope the Cowboys, you know, get their hopes high and mighty, and Cowboys fans get their hopes high and mighty again, because they're gonna frickin' lose and they're gonna go bye-bye from the playoffs again. But unless Dak can show he's not going to choke in the playoffs and he's going to get the Cowboys to the Super Bowl even if they lose, then I don't see why you make a big hurry to re-sign Dak Prescott. This guy has not delivered yet. When he delivers, then he gets contract. CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons have delivered, so those guys are the guys I'd make priority to re-sign. Everybody else is irrefutable. Actually, you know what? I am going to talk about Roger Goodell. So let's talk about Roger Goodell now saying he wants 18 games on the NFL schedule. I think this is a bunch of gibberish because Roger Goodell is showing that he's a hypocrite. Every time we see Roger Goodell on TV, what's he talking about? We're worried about player safety. People have been complaining about how soft the NFL has gotten. People are talking about how the NFL might be rigged these days. And Roger Goodell, every time he's talking, oh, it's about player safety. Yeah, it's about player safety. I'm so worried about... No, you're not. You're worried about the money. You're worried about the money. You ain't worried about... you are not worried about the players out. You're worried about the damn money. You're like, hell with this. I want the fucking money. That's what Roger Goodell is all about. He's not about player safety. Because heck, people are getting hurt even worse now than they were before he took over. So how in the hell are you all about the money, all about the players' health, but yet you're wanting an 18th game that's going to make these guys have to work harder. These guys are going to get injured at some point in the season. And it's going to screw up the whole NFL schedule. I mean, the freaking records are already wonky enough. When 13-4 is your record for number one seed, that's kind of stupid. 15-2 is the record. 14-3. That's just messing up the important, and that's also messing up the importance of the games. Now, yeah, you could cut down preseason 2 games, but that's not going to give these freaking coaches time to evaluate talent that might make the roster, like I was talking about with Titus Leo earlier. I mean, come on now. So, next time I hear Roger Goodell say something about he's worried about the players' health and he's talking about getting an 18th game, I'm going to freaking vomit. Because you know he's not worried about the players' health. Because if he was, he wouldn't be wanting an 18th game. He'd be worried about trying to make the game as safe as possible. Like I said, people are already complaining about the game already being softer than what it was years ago. And like I said, more people are getting hurt even more now. Get more concussions and everything. But yet you want an 18th game. That's ridiculous. That's hypocritical. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. Come on now. Don't give me this bullshit about, oh, I'm worried about the players' health. You're not worried about the players' health. What you're worried about is that almighty dollar. That's all you care about. The freaking way they had it with the 16-game schedule was perfect. The records were good. You didn't have to worry about someone saying, oh, well, 13-3 meant you were either second best or 14-2 meant you were the best. But these freaking records are just ridiculous now. 12-5 now. That's just, yeah, I don't know. I've complained about other things like with the new bus schedules. I've complained about the NFL schedule. I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you broke it even more. You've broken it even more. Same with the freaking bus schedules these days. They're broken even more than what they were before. This whole nonsense of freaking adding this extra game. And you do this not too long after you just added a 17th game. When people are starting to get used to this format, now you want to change it again and make people readjust to it. But people's going to say, you know what, screw this, we're not watching football anymore, it's too complicated now. When people watch NFL football, they want to be they just want to see simplified football. See people getting sacked, see people scoring touchdowns, see people running the ball for big touchdowns, kickoff returns for big touchdowns, all that stuff. And y'all just keep trying to drag out the game even longer. It's going to take away the prestige of all of these games, and you're talking about you want the last game of the season to be more prestigious, but yet you want to add another game. It's going to make it less prestigious because let's say somebody's like, I don't know, whatever it's going to be now, 15-4. They're going to rest their players no matter what. And it still happens today in this freaking current format you're doing. So what's the difference? Just a way to make more money. All the BS about, here's the deal. I'm worried about the players' health. You're full of shit, because you're not. You ain't worried about the players' health. You're worried about that money. Just like EA with the Madden games. They ain't worried about fixing the damn game. They're just worried about all the money people spend on it. And then we have to see numerous videos of people complaining about how bad things are, and yet they still won't fix it. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It's stupid and it's dumb. And screw Roger Goodell, because he's full of crap. He's giving us a bunch of BS about he's worried about players' health when he's really just worried about the money. Him and the owners. It's ridiculous. That's eventually going to turn people... You know why NBA don't get the ratings they get until it's time for playoffs? It's because there's too many damn games to keep up with. Too many records are getting screwed up. I know NFL is the most popular sport in America, but you keep doing crap like this and you're going to lose that. So, yeah. Quit giving us this nonsense about, oh, you're worried about the health of the players. You're not worried about the health of the players. You're worried about the frickin' money. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Alright, let's end this on a happy note. Because all I've done is complain about Colts Nation. I've complained about, Roger Goodell. Complained about the Cowboys. But finally, and it took forever, finally Dwight Freeney is going to the Hall of Fame this Saturday. I am very excited. It's a long time. He should have been in the Hall of Fame when he was eligible to go in the Hall of Fame, because honestly, him being in the Hall of Fame should have happened sooner. This guy had double-digit sacks every year he was in the league. He was one of the most scariest defensive ends in the league. Everybody knew that Dwight Freeney was coming after you, and if he got a hold of you, you were done for. So, and the guy was only 6'1", 268 pounds. And people said that guy should have been a linebacker. Yeah, they did that with Mathis when they switched to 3-4. Mathis didn't do as well. He had one good year as a linebacker. The rest of the time, he sucked. Defensive end was right spot for Freeney and Mathis. And had it not been for Tony Dungy, we probably would have never got that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I am happy. I can't wait to get me a Dwight Freeney shirt. They're probably going to be more expensive now that he's a Hall of Famer. I'm also going to get me a Quiddy Pay shirt and wear it the next time I go to a Colts game. I wanted to wear my JT jersey today that I got a couple years ago when I went to a Colts game, but I couldn't find it, so I wore Reggie Wayne. But, yeah. It's a long time coming. It's about frickin' time. I mean, we had to see Edgar Jabe go in. We've seen Marvin Harrison go in. We saw Peyton Manning go in. Those all deserved it. And Dwight Freeney should have been there with those guys. I think Jeff Saturday's also in the Hall of Fame, too. I'm not sure. But, yeah. I'm very happy. I know a lot of people are happy that the man, Dwight Freeney, is now going to the Hall of Fame this Saturday. Long time coming. This guy should have been in no sooner as he was eligible. And he's been retired for what, almost over a decade now? So I cannot wait to see Dwight Freeney go in. Long time coming. Proud that Dwight's in. Dwight was the man. Number 93, if you saw him coming, you were running. Wasn't great at stopping a run, but hey, he got to that freaking quarterback pretty quick. But anyway, that's it for this one. Please like this video, subscribe for more, follow me on my Facebook fan page, Mr. Orange 83 Show. Follow my Trigen Toys page. I really, even if you don't follow the fan page, at least follow that, because I'm trying to grow my business. And I'm doing the world's longest yard sale this Saturday, so I want to, hopefully, people will freaking go check out my Trigen. I can put a post, because I can't do live, because Facebook thinks they're YouTube now. Yeah. Let me know all your guys' thoughts on all the football stuff I talked about. I didn't expect this to be as long as it did, but I talked about, the Colts Nation and how they're doing Quiddy Pay, and I talked about, the Tonga Low and all that, So, yeah. Check it out. And I'll see you guys on the next football talk. Well, I have more football topics that I want to talk about. And, I'll be doing this pretty much throughout the NFL season. I don't know. I might not do it every single Monday, but it might be Mondays. I'm also going to use Mondays for reviews and that. Like this Monday, I'm going to be reviewing the new Deadpool movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Monday after that, I might have something else. Wednesday, I think I'm going to do the Daima video with the freaking X-Men animated series compared to the freaking Dragon Ball Z show. Probably compare Dragon Ball Super and X-Men 97 to each other too. So please check out this video, like it, subscribe for more. Also go check out my freaking WWF In Your House playthrough that I went through and won the WWF Championship with Ahmed Johnson. Go check out my Comic-Con video. You guys will see me nerding out and drooling all over something. Because, you know, when Mattel revealed, when I seen that preview night and I seen that Rick Rude with a new version of the World Heavyweight title, I'm like, yes, finally the WCW version of the World Heavyweight title in figure form. I was drooling. I had a nerdgasm, everything. But yeah, go check this out. Check out this one. Check out the last two I did. And I'll see you guys Friday for the playthrough of Mortal Kombat Mythology, where I'm going to talk about the Robert Downey Jr. news about him coming back to Marvel movies. I'm going to talk about the new DLC pack announcement for the for Mortal Kombat 1. How excited I'm for that. And talk about a bunch of other things that don't annoy me. I might talk about that freaking WCW World Heavyweight Championship more in depth on the Friday video as a playthrough, so I don't go totally mad going through Mortal Kombat Mythology, because that's a game that can cause you to go through rage, cause you to want to kill yourself and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go so far as say it causes you to kill yourself, but it is a very enraging game. Anyway, that'll do it. Catch you guys later, and peace out, and go Colts!